Hi, in this video we are going to look at more blending modes. We're going to look at gradients along strokes and where they kind of start overlapping and doing fun stuff. We'll also look at jamming a gradient inside type. And just so you know, okay, it's so that you can kind of do this. You can see how they start interacting with each other. You can see kind of cool, unexpected colors and awesomeness start happening. All right, so that's what we're going to do in this video. Let's jump in. All right, first up, open up gradient color mixes from your exercise files. This is a mock-up. I made this actually in XD. Okay, if you haven't used XD, it's great for prototyping websites or apps. I've got a course on that, go check that out. But so I made this, but I want to add a kind of a flurry of color like you saw on the side here, and we're going to use blending modes. Something like XD doesn't have this, so you'll end up swapping between XD to do all the kind of core stuff like buttons and navigation and stuff, and then out to Illustrator to do some slightly more advanced kind of things like color blending. More color blending, yes. Okay, so I'm going to use the curvature tool to kind of make that first spike. Click once, click again, and then kind of make a shape. Okay. Now what I would like to do is, by default, it will probably just have a black line. You might have a fill. Get rid of the fill, it might be white. Okay, add no stroke. And remember in an earlier tutorial, you might not have done it, but so what we can do is, first of all, the width tool. Okay, it's this guy here. I'm going to grab this end and kind of make it. That gives me my nice, even, kind of pokey, pointy thing. And next thing I want to add a stroke gradient. Okay, and that's kind of new for the new version of Illustrator. Under strokes, if you're using this particular file, I've got all these gradients already loaded in here for you. If you don't, obviously you can use the gradient tool. Okay, it's under Window, Gradients. There it is there, and make your own. But I'm going to, click on one of these and decide which one I want to use. No right or wrong. Okay, you might hate these gradients. Now, the one thing with gradients though is if I open up gradient options or go to Window, Gradient, okay, applying it to a stroke, you can either go left to right because that's what it's doing, or the second one in is what I want. I want it to kind of like follow the line. This one here goes left to right following the line. This one goes straight down it following the line. This one here just goes like left to right regardless of where the stroke goes. Hopefully that made sense. You can flip it. There's an option there to flip. Okay, deciding on how you want to do it. Now, all I'm going to do now for a second is, let's speed this up because all I'm going to do is kind of rotate them and spin them around. So let's go speedy version. Okay, we're back, and if you had to watch that in real time, that took me forever. I don't know why, I'm just trying to, I don't know, it's not flowing right. Okay, but you get the idea, right? We've got some kind of curves with gradients. I'm gonna select all of them at the top here, and basically all we do is we go to the blending mode, okay, which is under opacity, and go to normal, and just kind of play around with the ones that we like. Instantly darken looks kind of cool. Don't worry about the interaction with this navigation, we'll fix that. But I'm looking for these kind of like joins where things that are overlapping and doing cool stuff. Now, it'll depend on the colors that you're using. Okay, so have a work your way through and just see what, some cool interactions here. Remember that shortcut, Command H? Okay, Command H just kind of hides all the lines because it's quite hard, right, to kind of see how they interact with those lines there. Command H just hides all the center bits. Make sure you turn it back on. Multiply, color burn. Ooh, color burn's quite nice. Okay, I'm not sure about that one. Okay, now I'm just messing about and I'm going to do some cropping. You can skip on to the next video if you like. I'm going to do some just tidying up when I'm finished once I've clicked every single one of these. If you know a shortcut from going through these, I know it in Photoshop, but in here I can't work it out in Illustrator. I have to click on every single one. All right, I'm gonna go darken. Cool, and a couple of things I want to do is I just want to kind of crop it in, and we'll add a gradient to the text as well. So do hang around, okay? If you've disappeared already, sorry about that. So I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a rectangle that's the whole size of the thing, and it's basically his job. I'm going to hold Shift, grab these guys as well. So I've got all of them. Command H to turn those back on. Command 7 to turn it into a clipping mask. Now I'm going to click on it and send it to the back. Okay, behind the navigation. What I'll do for the navigation, do I want it behind the navigation? If you want it behind the buttons, but maybe not the actual nav bar. What we'll do for the nav bar is we'll pick a gradient for you, buddy. Come on. You're going to be that one. No, too much. Okay, and the same for down here. Eyedropper tool, and what I might do is, so select on this guy, eyedropper tool, click on him, and into my gradients, with him selected, fill at the front, flip him over so he's kind of balanced out. Now what you might want to do is add gradients to text. While we're here, okay, I've outlined this text. It works just as good for a regular typed text, but I've outlined it because you might not have this font, and I'm quite precious about this font. So what I'd like to do is, it's Museo, or Roboto. Ooh, can't remember. Anyway, we're going to add a gradient to it. But if you add gradient to either text or like this one, kind of outlines of text, look what happens if I go to fill, buddy, and I go, I want you to be that kind of same gradient. It does it individually, okay, per thing. Okay, an easy way to get around that is just to go to Object. It's Command 8. But if you go to Object, where is it? Compound path. There it is there, make. So you make an object, compound path, make. Okay, nothing really changes, except now when I say give you a gradient, it makes life a lot easier. Where are you? That color. Cool, and you can see it kind of goes across all the text rather than kind of starting and stopping all the way through. It might be hard to see because it's quite thin. Blue at this side, green at that side. All right, so that's gonna be it for this video. More color blending. I guess I just want to show you lots of kind of things that happen just with blending modes. So many cool things. All right, I'll see you in the next video.